You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Alright, good evening. I've been trying to clean off this damn table all damn day. I cleaned off everything but this table. The hand fist thing's in the morning, so I gotta be up bright and early for that. That's crazy when I've been going to bed at about 5 in the morning. But let's see what's the deal with this pickle. And I'm going to try to set this straight. Texas Star didn't make just one and stop, or one set of plans, or one way they did it and stop, because they used multiple transistors in their amplifier. I had one down here the other day, so I've done a video on it. It was a, I think it was a 667, and it was a actual Scorpion. I had never seen one in the 667. I think it was purple writing on the front of it instead of gold. I think it had a Scorpion on it, and it was purple if I ain't mistaken. I may be mistaken. But anyways, the transistors in that wasn't even Toshiba. It was so old that it wasn't even Toshiba's in it. I don't know what was in it. It had, it was clear. It had some 25 something on it. It was like the first HGs come out, but it wasn't HGs. It was just something that they had in their time. Alright. This one's definitely got Toshiba's in it. And this has definitely got a 2290 driver. And this one definitely has a something that's it's done charred that output transformer. See it there? And you can go by the book and it'll be completely fucking wrong. On some things you gotta watch what you do on that book. Just because you got a book don't mean it's right. Like I said, they make multiple different amps with multiple different transistors. They tried everything. I've seen was it STIs or SITs or STs, or I've seen all different kinds of things in Texas Stars throughout the years. I've seen some with no name on them whatsoever. I've seen, of course, Toshiba, HGs in the new ones. Some of them still got DEIs in them. But some of the parts in here, like C33, if you look, I mean, not C33, but C3, this is 100 puff there. That's not right. It's a few things in them things that's wrong. I mean, you just have to get, sometimes you just have to guess at it, or get another one out and go through it and see what that one had in it. And then you have to have the meter to check it to see if that was what was in it. I mean, it's just a couple. This one here's got it through there, and it comes over to here. And sometimes I don't understand why they do stuff. I don't know why they done that the way they done it. This leg goes from here all the way over to here, and they cut it in between that, when that's all they had to do was leave that trace in and attach that right there. I don't know. And see, in that book, that was the one I was talking about. This one says a 2200K capacitor. And in that book it says you look it up for 667. In this book. 667, the part there, which is a little different, for says looking in this one because the old one. But that part right there, C3. Alright, you go back here to where it tells you the parts that's in that amp. The parts in that amp. You can look at that on the schematics. C3, right there. 100 puff. It's got right in the book. Where's it at? My finger. C3, 100 puff. That's not what's there. I've never seen that on any one of them. You go over here to the parts list. C3. They listed it as 100 puff. And that's not what's there. So, some of these are the same, some of them are not. This thing's got a big imbalance in it some damn where. And these resistors are so big they're half a watt that majority of the time they don't even blow. Don't even blow. And Texas Star is a good amp, don't get me wrong. But some of the things they've done on them is just crazy. And the through hole part of it's the worstest thing out of all of it. Because you got to go on the bottom of the board, and it's so hard to get these things out of here. You have to go on the bottom of the board and work on it. Where if you build them like we build them, you can get the stuff from the top of the board. Don't have to go up underneath it. It's actually nothing up underneath of it. And that makes it very handy. But these Texas Stars, they search for ground so bad. If you could sit here and see what I see in these amps, the hot as they done got, and they want to actually unweld some of the parts that's in it. I don't know if you understand what that means, but how the hell I got that big of old cat there? It don't need to be there. It looks factory though. Hard to tell. I tell you, it's a lot better solder job than I've seen on the new ones. But these things, they'll go out of bias. So that little, this this resistor here, if it goes out, which y'all can't see me because I zoomed out, my dumb ass. If this resistor here goes out, you biasing. That's in some of these, I don't know why I think they've done that to equalize the voltage between this board and that board, but this board could be 1.7 and this one could be a 1.9 or vice versa to get the voltages set on these input of these. I mean, that's just what I've seen. You can actually tell this resistor here is different color than this resistor here. It's got a red band on it. And this has got a gold brown band on it. It's kind of hard to tell these colors, and that's the reason I don't even look. And I don't even keep up with the little saying, because you could be off on the color, especially when they discolored. I mean, you ain't gonna know no damn ways. You might as well go back to the meter and use that as your reference. I mean, yeah, I guess everything's good to know, but like I said, if it's done burn it, you ain't gonna know what that resistor is anyways. So that's being my point. I guess it is good to know things, but I don't know. And that's the reason the majority of us don't say and don't tell what things, what we do on things, is because you get criticized for it, and it's just more shit. Even though if you tell it right, you could get criticized for it, and even though you're 100% right. And some of these will show right today and they'll fall out of tune when they get to your house and you start running. And maybe your SWR is like a 1.7 or 1.6. Or you done checked it with your little meter and your little meter says, oh, it's 1.1. But when you apply power to it, it goes up. I don't know, just, you have to play around with it, and that's the reason we use like a bird or something other to reverse the slug, put a 100-watt dead key on it, and set it with that. Put like a 5-watt slug in it or so, a dead key it. And if you see like 4 watts, go out there and do a little tuning on your antenna till it comes down to 1 watt. Or it goes down to a 1/2 watt. Or it goes down to a 1/4 watt. And then when you get that situated, then you get to playing around with it some more, and you get to introduce some more power to it. You 5,000 watts. Then you got a 100-watt slug. Put it in reverse. Start playing with that. Bring it down. Do a little tweaking on your antenna. And not only if you got a vertical antenna, not only you move that the center one, the horizontal one, the vertical one, you got to move the horizontal with it. Say, if you go up with that center a 1/2 inch, go out with the bottom one's a 1/2 inch. I don't know, that's what I've always been taught and told. And it's always worked decently well for me. I still have trouble tuning, and you can't just go into it and say, well, I'm going to tune one day, or it's going to take me 10 minutes to do it, or this, that, and the other. And every time that you go to do something like that, you get aggravated. Yeah, you're going to get aggravated. It's no formula that I can tell you that's going to work for you. It's no formula that I do that works for me. That's the reason you got these meters and stuff to check stuff with. But just because you checked it with, say, an MFG or a Rig Expert or a Nanode or whatever you got to check it, well, you know that's only putting out a bit of hell, not even a watt. We'll say it's putting out a watt. Let's say it's putting out 10 watts. If it puts out 10 watts, I mean, that's good up until 10 watts. But it might not be good at 100. Might not be good at 400. Might not be good at 1,000. You still have to do little fine adjustments. I don't take this as I'm fussing at nobody or nothing like that. It's just, it's aggravating to us and other people when you get something in and work on it, and then they say, well, you know, it ain't working like it is at my house like it is your house. And then say, well, it does more at other people's. I've seen other people's videos and it does more on their videos. Well, okay. Yet again. Now, I ain't really, I mean, it's things that we tell on here that back in the day was a no-no. You didn't tell people that kind of stuff because, you know, you had people that didn't like that, and they're always eager to run their mouth, you know, to try to be Democrats and shit. Run their mouth and they get mad at you and they tell on you and this, that, and the other, and you just trying to help somebody out and do the best you can. But they just, they ain't happy with nothing. But anyways, and you tell them at the best of your knowledge and then it don't work out for them and they mess something up or something messes up. It's like electronic parts. I'm going to tell you the best way this is. I'm going to tell you the best way that I can tell you. It's all the companies out here that make this stuff, and they make them, and they're really, really top-end companies. You take Yazoo, multi-billion dollar company. Kenwood, ICOMs. You think you don't see them on people's workbench too? They're on there all the time. I go and I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot more than I should. And you say, well, my shit looks like it's always broke. Well, yeah. It could be your luck of the draw. It could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of things that's contributing to that. But majority of the time, it's just time. And if you write down, which I don't do enough writing down, because my education is very limited. I don't give a fuck who knows. My education is limited, and I don't write down enough stuff because I don't really, I just don't do it. I never have. I try to remember it, and then my memory is about long as my pecker, and I don't remember anything very long. But my long-term memory is pretty good, decently. But anyways, the point being is, and I know I don't get to the point a lot, and I jump around, this, that, and the other. That's just the way I am. But things are not always the same on everything. And what it does here, it might do more at your house, it might do less. It all depends on radio drive. It all depends on how your stuff is set up, how you run it. I was watching another fellow's video the other day. He was showing the versus the amplifier on his dummy load versus his antenna. Of course, it showed more on the dummy load because that's a perfect antenna. Your dummy load's perfect. But let's see you get out there and try to talk on that dummy load. You're not going to do it. If you do, he's going to be sitting in your driveway and he's picking up RF from somewhere. But anyways, the thing of it is that I test all mine in real world. That's best I'm going to say it. Y'all can read between the lines and know what that means. But, and some parts of it is because I don't have the money to buy the dummy load. I got one. Not a very big one. 1,000 watt. And I got that from the supposed to be the head FCC guy of North Carolina. At least that's what he told me. Now, I don't know. But things do change from bench to bench, from table to table, from I'm pretty sure this hand's got something wrong with it. I don't know whether it's going to be the driver or that. I just loaded my FLIR up. I'm going to try to sell it tomorrow and get me another one. If I have to break it out, I'll break it out. And to see what transistor gets hot in this thing. But I was going over it looking to start with. But Texas stars ain't easy. I'm not saying they're bad amps. It's a lot of them out there's worse. But if you think you're going to go out on eBay or you can go to CB Tricks or this, that, and the other, this manual right here, I got Mr. Black, God bless his soul, sent this to me. And it was evidently through 2001, 2002, 2003, cvtricks.com. That's all it was just somebody downloaded it and put it in a binder and done a pretty good job at it. Now, do I use it all the time? Yeah, but some of the stuff you have to keep in memory, and you have to use your best judgment on some of this stuff, because some of them, like I said, it's not the same way. Well, what I just did right here, I lifted these legs to the input of these transformers. Now they're still getting ground through the 10 ohms, so they're still going to be in like class C mode, but I lifted the legs to it. I didn't lift the legs to the 2290, and the reason being is that how I can replace that. They're pretty easy to get. I got quite a few of them left over here. Now the 2879 is the one that's cost so much and it's so expensive. But anyways, I'm going to hook it up and check the bias voltage and see what we got coming on, see if it's doing any kind of wattage. I would kind of do this a different way at a different time, but that's the way it's going to get done today. like I said, I got some of my stuff that I'm selling. I want to upgrade and get different things. There's nothing wrong with any of the stuff that I got. It's just that I would like to upgrade. I'll probably come home with the same shit. I probably won't get rid of none of it. But my 2950 up here that I've been asked to sell to people, and I didn't at the time. Now I want to sell it. I'm wanting a radio that does about 80 or 90 watts. How my Cobra Plus radio does 80 or 90 watts. Two, so I don't have to rely on that amplifier for everything, which is adjustable, but I'd rather have it, say if somebody's got majority of people now is getting strikers. So I'd like to have one of them to test with. If you understand what I'm saying. Something's wrong with this thing. It wasn't a burn out without something being wrong. But like I said, I've lifted the majority of the time. If it's a transistor out, then it's still going to remain to be out in it, no matter what. You can't make that come back without putting another one in there. But this, if anything's the bias voltage up too high, at least I ain't got to worry about that jumping over and catching the input of the transistor and blowing that out of the water. Get this off of here. But yeah, I like my FLIR. It's just too little. Too little for me. I done got, like I said, I done got too old. My eyesight ain't what it used to be. I'm using glasses plus a damn magnifier. Let's check the bias voltage here. Wait for that possible to come on. Alright, we're going to key it. It looks okay for no pull on it. That looks okay with no pull on it. So it's lifted from a transistor, there's nothing pulled against it. It's like a coil with no load. Of course, it's going to be easy to get up to 100 mile an hour because there's no load on it. But once you hook it up to the dyno, put a load on it, or you take it out on the upper road, of course, it's going to be slower accelerating up to 100 mile an hour. And watch how you mess with Texas Star, because you will get it too hot and drip down through the board, and it'll hit that ground and it'll cause a big mess. I see no bias to the yeah, I think the transistor there is gone. Yeah. Let's do away with the one pill and pick the 4 pill side. Alright, got me a piece of wire. We're just going to jump it. Make it a Texas Star 500 instead of a 660 for the time being, to get rid of the 1 pill section. It'll still have power on it, but it's not actually having any RF applied to it. That 1 pill section is have undone the biasing down here that feeds it to the input side of this transistor. And this transistor and that transistor is sharing this resistor here, which sets the biasing. This one goes up through here, and this one didn't have any drag on it. It was about 0.8 millivolts to it. So it was 800 millivolts. And this one out here only had 200, and this one was showing 9. So we're going to bypass that side. And check the 4 pill section. And that's all I'm doing, is inverting the signal from one spot to another, and like I said, getting rid of this little spot here. So the signal comes in, goes up through there, goes through this switch, goes up through here, comes out through there, and this variable's not going to be to it because the other side goes through here. It's kind of weird the way Texas Star does this and picks up this signal and don't shunt this back to ground. It goes to ground through this resistor back to ground, which is lifted to ground of some sort. It's still seeing it, but at a very minute, I don't know. Let's see what she's doing this 4 pill. Oh, of course we're getting some wattage. It ain't what it ought to be getting, but it's getting some wattage. I've seen about 100 watts Let's make sure I ain't got nothing wrong up here. Oh. She's still got an imbalance in it. One of the transistors is gone too. And which one? I think I'm going to have to go bring the FLIR out. The FLIR is the best way to check. You won't see it coming on. See those, see them equal out when I lifted that up on there though? See the input voltage, the bias voltage? 650 milliamps. Go to the other 2-pin side. Somewhat equaled out, but it was a lot more than it was. But let's kind of bypass this too. Get this resistor out of line. It don't seem like it's, if it was that bad of a, if it was that bad of a damn, if it was a transistor going down that bad, it would be heating this up a lot hotter than it is. And this thing's got a shit ton of damn capacitance on that input of this thing. The only one I've ever seen like that. That's 100 puff. That's weird. That's a 430. That's a 220. That's mighty damn weird. So that's 220, that's a 430, and this is a 100. On the input side of this damn thing. Oh, that's 200 watts. I don't feel any heat out of the damn output transistor. The reflex looks pretty good. Oh, hello. But it's still only 200 peak. That thing ought to be doing 400. Let's pull some of this shit off this input. We'll leave it here so it can go back. Let's leave that 220 puff on there. Okay, so we lift it. Damn. That's the most capacitance I'll sell, Texas Star right there. Alright, it's 220 puff, at least that's what it says. It could be devalued right now, I don't know, but like I said, it's a 1000 puff there, it's 430 here, at least that's what it says. That's a 221 there, at least that's what it says. Oh, gotta get the power up. Oh, oh, still the reflect don't look bad. Why did they do that? Oh, reflex still a quarter watt. Oh, she's got some heat still in there. I don't know why everybody thinks these things are just a simple fix. Preamp's working. And now the freaking lights ain't working. Preamp light's working. Let's reverse procedure. To change capacitance. Okay, this output, other end's the ground. This one, this is the 2-pin section of the other 2-pin section. And this goes to the input, which is here. Okay, let's see if this 2-pin section, which is back in line, but it is not biased on that. Let's see if that does anything. Oh, no. No, switch on. Oh, well, yeah, it's working. That's about 250. It's still got something dragging it down. Let me go get my flare, I'll be back.